Hey everybody, Michael Snyder here, Pacific Northwest Weather Watch. Today's June 23rd, and right now we're looking at the visible satellite imagery, and you can see along the coastal areas, these low clouds have really made their way inland all the way towards the coastal range and down the Strait of Juan de Fuca. Look at that tongue of stratus there lapping up against Whidbey Island. But anyway, looking across some of the upper area, you can see some of the smoke working its way down from Canada, making its way across some of southwest BC and even northern Washington there. And what doesn't show up here, there's a little bit of a feature out here. It's going to bring some thunderstorms, some of the Cascades, but even down towards the Portland metro. Can't rule out a thunderstorm even across some of the Seattle metro today, some of southwest Washington. It's not out of the question. There could be a couple thunderstorms rolling around, and that's going to kind of be the case the next few days, at least for the higher terrain of the Cascades, the Blue Mountains, northeast Washington, Idaho, and Montana, as we continue to have some troughing around. It's going to continue that thunderstorm threat. Now, taking a look here, if you look closely, you can see the Altocumulus Castellanos there up for Paradise Mount Rainier. You can see the old snowfall there. It looks like a pretty nice day so far, but there could be some thunderstorms roaming around up there for the next few afternoons across some of the Cascades near Mount Rainier as well. Now, this is National Weather Service Spokane. Watch out for those thunderstorms possible through next week out there. Localized heavy rainfall and some dangerous lightning out there. Keep your eyes on the sky. This is down from Medford, Oregon, talking about that thunderstorm potential as well. Lightning, small hail, gusty winds, 40, 50 miles per hour, and thunder roars. Go indoors. And here we go for Pendleton, Oregon, too, talking about that thunderstorm chance as you go through the next few days also. Now, this is what's going on here. Alaska, BC, Washington, Oregon, California. You kind of see the general troughing on the west coast, and this ridge is trying to build in here, but we're still going to be under some of the influence of this troughing. It's going to keep that thunderstorm activity going here the next few days. So we're not looking at any big heat dome, as you notice here, with this troughing kind of hanging down across the Intermountain West. We're going to be dealing with those thunderstorms, especially Cascades eastbound here over the next few days. And what I'm watching here is this trough. How close is this thing going to get? Is it just going to enhance the ridging across this? Is it going to cool us down here as we go through the extended? Because right now it doesn't look like the temperatures are getting too hot. It's going to be above average though coming up here, but nothing too extreme as far as the heat wave is concerned. Now this is looking at lightning flash density potential. So look, watch as we go into the afternoon today. Some of the Portland metro here could be under the gun for a couple strong storms as well, and even some of the Puget Sound area here, Cascades, Oregon, Washington, all the way down in Northern California, and a lot of BC is going to be susceptible to thunderstorm activity as well. See that activity wane, then the afternoon hours come around back again tomorrow. A lot of the Cascades will be included, BC, Blue Mountains, some of eastern Oregon, Idaho, and Montana also, and kind of rinse and repeat here as we go through Sunday as well. Cascades again. Now watch what happens on Monday though here. See as we go on in through Monday, look at even some of the Columbia Basin could be getting some thunderstorm activity. Yakima, Tri-Cities down there, it could happen for you on Monday here. It could be kind of interesting out there. Might have to go drive out there and take a look, have a little localized storm chase for myself out there. But you can see the Cascades and a lot of Idaho, BC, and Montana will be under the gun as well. Now, this is just a reminder. There's still burn scar areas out there. You can see Eugene, Oregon here, the Cedar Creek fire, I believe this was, and some of these thunderstorms moving over the area here could cause some localized flooding concerns. Day one does include western Washington, western Oregon, I-5 corridor, all the way up towards BC here. You see that severe weather today off through some of Wyoming and Montana. This is day two, and again, it does include western Washington and some of western Oregon here as well. Day two again there. There's day three, and it does start to push off Cascades mainly east by that point. This would be Sunday morning through Monday morning. Look at Seattle yesterday, 6 degrees above average. Nice day out there, 78 degrees. No precipitation, nowhere near the record highs, but still very nice weather. And that should continue here over the next few days. We should be above these average temperatures. As you can see, by the time we get towards June 24th, we're at 73 degrees. June 28th, we hit 74 as the average, but we're not going to be anywhere near that epic heat wave that we had in 2021. Where we had 102, 104, and 108 on 3 consecutive days there for SeaTac. I won't soon forget that one. This is looking at the daily max 2-meter temperature. Check out this. It's showing for 81 for Seattle today. And then again, Saturday, nice warm temperatures above average through Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It's not bad across the region here. So get out there and enjoy that weather. At least it's not a big oppressive heat wave. And some areas are going to be dealing with some thunderstorms as we go on in through the next week, as I've showed you. This is the European, kind of talking about those nice, comfortable temperatures here. Nothing too crazy here, but it is pretty warm for Seattle. It is above average here for the next week or so, it looks like. This is the GFS, kind of backed off a little bit on some of those 90s it was showing here. But you can see, still has some days at 80 plus here as we go on in through the next week or so. This is looking at the National Weather Service official forecast, and you can see they've suppressed these temperatures so much. Because Saturday, Sunday, just more around average for Saturday and Sunday, then still above average here through next week, but nothing too crazy here. You notice these temperatures are a bit lower, so check out the National Weather Service page. These are probably pretty accurate here as well. We may get a few degrees warmer on some of these days, though, I have a hunch. Now, looking at the European ensemble mean versus the GFS, let's look at what kind of agreement we have. You see the trough hanging around. We get this bit of a ridge here trying to build, but we've got this trough still going. It's going to keep that thunderstorm activity going. And you can see the GFS kind of bringing that trough even a little bit closer versus the European, but overall pretty decent agreement with somewhat of a trough here across the southwest and the deeper trough here across the Gulf of Alaska here as we go on in through next Wednesday night. This is 6 to 10 day temperature probability outlook, and this is not a forecast for temperature, the actual temperatures, the heat of the temperature. This is just kind of showing you you're going to be possibly above average during that point. So if your average high is 74 and you hit 75, you're going to trigger this probability outlook. This 8 to 14 day here as well does include a lot of the West Coast. So I hope that makes sense. This is not showing how warm it's going to get. This is just showing the probability that you're going to be above average. I hope I didn't confuse you even more. So this is the 6 to 10 day precipitation outlook, and look at this. You got some below average signal here showing up for some of the West Coast here as well, and 8 to 14 day even more so, including the Southwest, and that includes a lot of Western Washington, Oregon, and we're already so dry this time of year, so that would probably mean basically zero precipitation expected during this time frame. And again, if you didn't see this yesterday, we have some moderate drought that includes much of the Western Cascades, some of Skagit, Whatcom County, and Northwest Washington here now. So I'm trying to cross my fingers, and hopefully we're not going to be setting the stage for an above average fire season. It doesn't mean too much. You still have to have the correct conditions to get the fires going. So, but the moderate drought's not going to help. And this is something I showed yesterday as well, kind of a scrolling time bar here back to November. And this would be the equatorial Pacific here. You can see how we were in these La Nina conditions, and we've come out into neutral, and now eventually we're headed towards these El Nino conditions here, and you can see how the water is really warmed up right off the coast of South America here, and you can scroll back and forth on this, and you can kind of see that El Nino developing there across the central Pacific, and La Nina is in our rear view mirror. This is looking at an Australian model. Look at it, shows this very powerful, or what's known as a Godzilla El Nino coming up here. It's just one model, and we can watch this. We have plenty of time to look at it. Nothing to be too concerned about right now, but we're probably headed towards a moderate or a strong El Nino here, which tends to mean for warmer conditions here across Pacific Northwest. But of course, we'll continue to watch that here over the next few months. Anyway, I hope you guys get out and enjoy these temperatures here. Watch out for the thunderstorms today. Could be even some across Western Washington, Oregon. Eyes on the sky. Heads up, hikers across the higher terrain the next week or so, because the thunderstorms are going to continue to go. Blue Mountains, Northeast Washington, BC, Idaho, the Rocky Mountains, Montana. There's going to be thunderstorm activity going on, and I may go over and take a look at that in Eastern Washington next week. And hopefully some of this low cloud activity burns off for some of the coast. But anyway, we'll do this again tomorrow. I'll talk to you guys then. Hope you guys are having a good day.